Billy back here with Broship of the Nerds, another random update and some movie talk as well. So today, Viper, aka Brian, came down, and before that all happened though, day started interesting. So last night I get home from work, I throw some clothes from the washer to the dryer, and normally it takes a couple of cycles, and then the clothes get dry. Well, what had happened was the knob that goes from more dry to less dry would not move. It literally ran for like an hour, did not move, nor did it dry any clothes at all. So I'm like, crap. So I had to make a call and everything, and that'll get looked at and worked on eventually. But what I ended up doing was I ended up going to the laundromat. The clothes were already washed. I can still wash them here. I just have to dry them at the laundromat. But the laundromat isn't that expensive, and it dries relatively quick. I think it took like 24 minutes. We'll say maybe a half hour with one of those like bigger dryers, and it'll dry everything. So not that big of a deal. It's a minor inconvenience for now, but it gives me an excuse to leave. And today I had my buddy with me, but I can bring a book, and it gives me an excuse to read another chapter of a book while things dry. So it actually isn't that big of a deal, and it's only right down the road for me. So everything is fine. It's just one of those things where you have to make adjustments. And today I watched two good movies with my buddy. And the first one was The Haunted Mansion. Now I know a lot of people, this movie did not make its budget. They spent 150 million and it made like 117. Now I will say in defense of this film, I feel like it's very emotional and it's heavy. And I really enjoyed the performances of the cast. This movie is made for me, but I will say the timing was questionable because I went to see this with a friend of mine when it first came out in theaters, and it's like, why are they putting a movie out that should be coming out in October when people are in the mood for Halloween movies and bringing it out in the summer? That was the only downside, I think, is the timing of this release. Cast is great. You've got Lakeith Stanfield, who gives a great performance. I want to see him in more stuff. I loved him as like the person that was going through a lot of stuff. And then Tiffany Haddish, Owen Wilson, Danny DeVito, and Rosario Dawson. Great, great film. This is one of those that like I could watch any time, but I will probably my buddy Viper, as you know, is Brian. He had never seen this before. He got it for me for Christmas. Be like, can we watch this? I'm like, heck yeah, we can, bro. So we watched it, and I like it. I think it's one I'll watch maybe every couple of years during Halloween season. It won't, I'm not saying it's going to be an annual watch, but it's good enough to watch on occasion. So I would say if you like Halloween and you like a little more mild Halloween film, watch this one. But this is not one that I will watch all the time, but I will keep it in the collection. I would gladly revisit it on occasion because it's one of those that I do enjoy. I just think if I watched it all the time, I would get burnt out on it. So it's not one that I would watch repeatedly over and over. You know what I mean? It's not one I would put on every week or anything just to have on. But it is one that I will watch on occasion. I do think you should at least watch it once. Not a plus film by any means, but also not as bad as what people are saying. It should have been seen more, and I think it deserved a little more praise than what it got. Next up, we have Guillermo del Toro's The Shape of Water. Now, I have only seen Pan's Labyrinth and a little bit of Cabinet of Curiosity, but Tim Burton is my favorite director, but I'm wanting to go down the Del Toro rabbit hole. So, see what I did there? If you know, you know. That's all I'm saying there. But with The Shape of Water, I had a bad feeling about this film. Not as it being a bad film, but having a sad ending. And this movie was a lot better as far as like the way it played out and everything. And I love it for it. It had such a great story. And you have an otherworldly fairy tale set against the backdrop of a Cold War era America, 1962, in a hidden high security government laboratory where she works. Lonely Eliza, I should say, is trapped in a life of isolation. Eliza's life is changed forever when she and coworker Zelda discover a secret classified experiment. Um, Beautiful movie. I interpreted things my own way on this one. Like, sometimes you can only be seen by something else that other people don't understand. Because a lot of people don't understand Eliza because she's mute. She can hear, but she cannot talk. And her coworker Zelda and her get along well, and she lives with her neighbor, who's played by Richard Jenkins, and I love their like friendship and everything. It's so beautiful. But this movie is beautiful because it's a romance between a human and a creature, and it goes in directions I did not expect, but I'm very happy that they went that way, if that makes sense. So yeah, this is one of those you need to watch it. I absolutely love Del Toro, and I plan on watching Frankenstein at some point on Netflix, but I want to go down the rabbit hole and watch more of his work because stuff I've seen of his I really enjoy. He has a very unique vision, and I love him for that. So he's one of those that I would love to eventually interview. Him and Burton are like two dream interviews for me. And there's actors and actresses too that I would love to interview. But as far as directors go, Del Toro and Burton. Burton's at the top of the list. Del Toro is up there as well. Because I don't really know as many directors as I do actors, actresses. Of course, I would also love to pick the brain of. My brain's not working tonight, guys. But what is the director's name? Quentin Tarantino. He's another one I would love to pick the brain of. But yeah, two more films watched, two more films that are for sure staying in the collection, and that is my goal still is to get through these films. I'm at 300 and almost 50 films that are staying in the collection already, and I still have more to go. But we are getting there, and like I said, someday I'm hoping by maybe the end of this year, early next year, we go through my film collection. I'm not guaranteeing it's going to be an A to Z order, but I'm going to try to like just do it by shelf at a time and just maybe do it as a four-parter because I have four shelves right now. Um, yeah, two great movies. I was happy with both. My favorite of the two, Shape of Water, of course, but Haunted Mansion was good for its own thing. And I'm glad that my buddy and I watched two different types of films. Sometimes I like doing a theme where it's like, oh, we're going to watch slashers tonight. But in this case, we just watched two films that are completely different. One being a. This one's rated for 12 years and older, which was Haunted Mansion, and then Shape of Water is rated R because of sexual content, graphic nudity, violence, and language. But yeah, absolutely brilliant. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on the new Haunted Mansion and Guillermo del Toro's Shape of Water, because I want to hear your thoughts. And what are some essential Del Toro movies, just so I can know that. All right, take care, everybody.